Good day, students. Welcome to mathematics class. The question for today, the random question for today is about simple interest and compound interest. The question is, calculate the compound interest on 80,000 naira for 2 years at 8.5% per annum for the interest if the interest rate is added at 1 year interval. As you know that there is a slight difference between compound interest and simple interest. Simple interest is basically principal times rate times time, and of course this is the formula for simple interest. So where principal, P is the principal, R is the rate, and T is the time. However, to calculate compound interest, you need to calculate the rate and add it per year. You add the rate. You add the interest rate per year to the compound, to the principal. So that makes it compound. For the first year, let's assume for the first year you have the rate for the first year. You added to the initial principal for that year. Then that will give you what? The compound for the first year. So by the time you will now want to calculate for the second year, then you have to do what? You have to add the principal rate for the second year to the what? To the previous principal rate. It will now not be the initial principal rate, which is 80,000. It will be the initial rate for the first year. So let's go ahead and see. So let's calculate. First of all, calculate the how many times do we want to get the compound interest? That is 2 years. So the principal is 80,000. The rate is what? Said to be 8.5%. So how do you calculate 8.5%? Just you make it this mixed fraction, then you multiply. This will be 2 times 8, will give you 16 plus 1, that will be 17. That's why we have 17 over 2%. 17 over 2% will give you, that will be 17 over 2 over 100. So which will give you 1 over 17 over 2 times 1 over 100. So that's what we have here. 17 over 2 times 1 over 100. So by the time you multiply this by this, will give you 200. 17 by this will give you, so we have 17 over 200. So the 8.5% of principal will now be what? That will be 17 over 200. 17 over 200 multiplied by 80,000. So we cancel this one, cancel this. So by the time this one will be 40. So that will be 17 times 40 times 4,000. So 17 times 400, that will be, that's 400. That will be 6,800. So 6,800 first year. So for the first year, you have your what? You have principal plus interest. So what's now the principal for the first year? You could remember that it is 80,000 plus the interest that we have, that is 6,800. So we have 6,800, which will, when you add it, will be 86,800. Now let's move to the second year, because we have 2 years. When we move to the second year will now still be principal plus interest. So how do we now get the interest for the second year? That will be that same rate. At what rate? At 8.5% rate. That will be 17,000 divided by 200 multiplied by 86,000. This 86,000 is the what? Is the first year compound interest. Is the first year calculation that you have. So that will be 86,800. So 86,600 will give you what? Multiply this by this. Then you have your, there will be 434. So 434 by 17 will give us 7,378. So now add, which is what? The principal from the previous first year will now be what? 86,800 plus the interest that we got. That will be 7,378. When you add it together, then you have your what? 94,178 naira. 178 naira. 94,178 naira. The compound interest on 80,000 for 2 years at 8.5% per annum is what? 178 naira. Let's assume it's for 3 years. So what you do is that this now becomes your what? It becomes your principal. You become your principal. Then you now take the rate. So if you now want to calculate the rate, it will now be what? We want to calculate the rate, it will now be 17/200 for the third year times what? Times 94,178. So whatsoever you get here will be added to what? To the principal for you to get it. So let's see in another time. Keep reading, keep studying, and keep doing well. Bye.